A Mexican ship ran into the Brooklyn Bridge, and there are multiple people missing as a result of it. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. This is the latest update, y'all.
New questions tonight after a ship crashed into New York City's iconic Brooklyn Bridge, killing 2 sailors.
It's not going to hit the bridge.
Those along the river watched in horror, some running away, as the Mexican Navy training ship collided with the bridge around 8:20 p.m.
What is going on? It was a Mexican Navy training ship? Oh, okay.
The Brooklyn Bridge is a critical part of New York's infrastructure, connecting Manhattan and Brooklyn, and a major tourist attraction.
Go to an all hands. They have multiple serious patients coming.
Mayor Eric Adams confirming early this morning that 2 of the 277 people on board died.
Our hearts go out to the family members, and many family members are going to be traveling here from Mexico.
A Mexican official confirming one of those killed was America Yamilet Sanchez. At least 22 others were hurt, according to the Mexican Navy. Moments before the crash, many sailors seen standing on the masts. A tugboat was seen on camera around the time of the crash. It's unclear right now what its involvement was, if any. The mayor says a mechanical mishap made the vessel lose power, and the river's strong current pushed the ship backward.
Because of the current, it looks like it ended up under the Brooklyn Bridge, and that's where the tragedy occurred, the mass.
Dramatic video shows some people dangling in the air after impact.
That's crazy. That is absolutely insane. I seen some video of it, and I seen some people that was just holding on to it. Some people fell into the water. Other people were trying to figure out if it was a stunt, if it was real, if the video was even real. And you see all of those people standing up there. That's crazy, man. Condolences to the family.
The boat was on display in New York Seaport and on its way to Iceland. Those plans put on hold now. Officials say the nearly 142-year-old bridge was not seriously damaged.
There are many more questions than
American
answers
engineering, baby,
as to how the accident occurred and whether it could have been prevented.
The National Transportation Safety Board is investigating with the New York City Police Department as they try to figure out what exactly went wrong.
Maya Eaglin is in Lower Manhattan, right near where that damaged ship is. Maya, what is next for officials here?
Hallie, we're hearing from officials that they're working on sending some of the surviving crew members back to Mexico and finding a new location for this ship so authorities can start conducting a full investigation and repairs. Hallie?
That had to be, listen, y'all not going to keep hitting me with the ship malfunction or everything or all of the stuff went out just before it started running into the Brooklyn. No. That's called incompetence. Let me go over to this other report, and then we're going to go ahead because CNN, I'm assuming, has a better understanding now that more information is coming out of exactly what happened with the ship and whether or not it did actually malfunction.
Right, happening now. Investigators are searching for the voyage data recorder, basically a ship's black box, after a Mexican naval training ship lost power and crashed into the Brooklyn Bridge. 2 people are dead, more than a dozen injured. Officials say there was a mechanical issue and the captain lost steering of the vessel. We are expecting a news conference from the NTSB today. Let's get right to CNN's Gloria Pazmino near the bridge this morning. Gloria, what's the very latest?
Well, John, we're standing here at Pier 35 where the Cuauhtémoc was towed to on Saturday evening after that crash. Now, NTSB officials started arriving here yesterday afternoon, and we are expecting a briefing from them later today. The primary questions here, obviously, what happened? Was it a power failure that led to this collision between the ship and hitting that side of the underside of the bridge on Saturday evening? Another key question here is whether or not there was any role that the tugboat that was pulling the ship played during that trajectory as the ship was making its way out of the New York harbor. The Cuauhtémoc was on a worldwide goodwill mission, bringing Mexican naval culture around the world. It had been here in New York City docked for the past few days, and it has been really difficult for the Mexican community here in New York City, which has come out. They were here yesterday all day long. Some of them have been dropping off flowers in memory of those 2 people whose lives were sadly lost. We've actually learned their identities overnight. Mexican government officials have identified them as Cadet America Yamilet Sanchez, as well as Adal Jair Maldonado Marcos. We've also heard from America's family in Mexico. They are wondering what happened here and how soon they're going to get some answers. I want you to take a listen to the commissioner of the Emergency Management Office here in New York City talking about the early stages of the investigation. Take a listen.
Something happened during that period of time where the ship reportedly lost power, possibly lost steerage, and that's when it ended up going in the wrong direction towards the bridge. But that's very preliminary at this point, and there still needs to be an investigation that will take place.
Part of what investigators want to do as well, John, is make sure that this ship can be brought to dry dock so it can be repaired and sent on its way.
I remember,
also,
Jordan.
Late last night, the remainder of the crew, a little over 200 people, were actually bussed from here to John F. Kennedy Airport. They were able to get on a flight back to Mexico last night. I'm sure a relief for many of them. Some of them remain here on board, expecting that investigation to continue in the next several days.
So it looks like that it was just a malfunction. I always say user error, and it don't necessarily have to be user error when it comes to the ship's captain or losing steering or anything like that, because it probably all is true. You know, we all look at everything with a skeptical eye nowadays because we just don't trust anything. But that probably is all true. But there are supposed to be checks and balances, and you got to make sure that your equipment is functioning properly before you start to get on waters. And so condolences to the people that lost their lives. Thank God it wasn't Americans. A life lost is a life lost, though. Condolences to the families of the people that lost their lives. I'm sure when they woke up that morning, they didn't realize that they were going to lose their life. But who are you going to hold accountable for such a thing? It was an accident. Sometimes accidents are just that, accidents. There's nobody to sue. There's nobody to go after. And if you're going to go after them, make sure you go after them on Mexican soil. This is not an American ship. This don't have nothing to do with what we got going on. But it sounds like it was just a mechanical failure. Ultimately, they were... Okay, so hold on one second. Let me, because now I'm starting to make more sense of this thing. When I was looking at the video, right? If you go back to the video where you see the actual tragedy happening, let me go back to it. There are people hanging off the thing, right? Hold on, let me see if I can find a better one. There are people all across the whole
running away
thing
as the Mexican Navy training ship collided with the bridge around 8:20 p.m.
What is going on?
The Brooklyn Bridge is a critical part of New York's infrastructure, connecting Manhattan and Brooklyn, and a major tourist attraction.
Going to an all hands.
One of those killed was America Yami crash. Many sailors.
All right, they were all up there like this, right? They were up there like this. So here's my question: how soon or how much earlier did the malfunction happen prior to them actually running into the Brooklyn Bridge? Because why wouldn't they alert the people that was up there and say, hey, y'all need to start climbing down. Y'all need to start getting down. If you watch some of the videos that's on TikTok, they actually show you people that were falling into the river, the thing falling over. Some people were falling back onto the boat and stuff like that. What if... That's the question that I'm asking. If it was a mechanical failure, how come they didn't warn the people to get off of the top of the part that ran into the Brooklyn Bridge? Why did they just keep on going straight into the Brooklyn Bridge? Like, once you got close enough to the Brooklyn Bridge, why are all the people still up there? Next thing you know, you see all of these people that's hanging down from the top of it, and it's crazy. Y'all said they purposely hit the bridge. Why would they purposely hit the bridge? Always ask why. Why would they purposely hit the bridge? Why would they purposely hit the bridge? Somebody inform me. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. See, when you start to get into these things, and again, condolences to the two people that died. You start to have more questions than answers. You know what I'm saying? You start to have more questions than answers. But again, condolences to the family. I'm just glad that no additional people, no Americans, no tourists were hurt as a result of it. And I'm sure that they'll figure it out.